Before BTS debuted on June 13, 2013, Big Hit Entertainment had released 6 member profiles, 6 members, 6 photos, 6 names. Fans already knew who was in the group, except one. The 7th member was kept completely secret until debut day itself. No photo, no teaser, no hint he was coming. He walked out on stage with the rest of them, and the public was seeing him for the first time. That member is V. And the fact that he was hidden until the last possible moment isn't just a fun piece of trivia. It's the first clue about who he actually is. If you know BTS, you know V Kim Taehyung, the most followed Korean celebrity on Instagram. Not most followed K-pop idol, most followed Korean person on the platform, full stop. Celine's global ambassador, the BTS member whose fan base has called him alien for over a decade and means it as the highest compliment. You might know Singularity. You might know Layover. You might know he was in a KBS historical drama in 2016, but most people don't know how close he came to never being in BTS at all, or why Big Hit hid him the way they did, or what Layover were released 3 months before he disappeared into military service, actually tells you about where his career is going. V grew up in Daegu, South Korea's 4th largest city, known for producing artists, a little more raw edge than Seoul. He was raised partly by his grandparents in the countryside. As a kid, he wanted to be a saxophonist. That's not typical idol origin story material. He studied at a performing arts high school in Daegu. His father took him to a Big Hit Entertainment audition, not as a grand plan, not as the culmination of years of training. His friend was auditioning. He tagged along. He decided to try. Big Hit passed him. Then, and this is where it gets interesting, they kept him secret. While the other 6 members were being profiled and publicly introduced in the lead-up to debut, V's existence wasn't announced at all. No photo, no teaser content. Big Hit made a deliberate decision to hold him back. On June 13, 2013, debut day, he was revealed. He chose the name V himself. He said it stands for victory. He's also hinted it represents the different sides of his personality, that there's more than one version of who he is. 12 years later, that ambiguity hasn't been resolved. It's probably what he's most known for. For 5 years after debut, V released solo tracks inside BTS eras. Stigma in 2016 on the Wings album. Singularity in 2018 as the pre-release for Love Yourself, Tear. Stigma was good. Singularity was different. It dropped on April 23, 2018. 3 minutes and 8 seconds. Neo-soul production. A baritone so deep it sits below most of what the genre uses. A theatrical MV that looks like a short film. Masks, empty rooms, performance art rather than idol choreography. There was no aegyo, no high notes, no fan service. Nothing from the standard K-pop playbook, just presence. If you watch it now, it still doesn't feel like a K-pop release. It feels like something a singer-songwriter with a very specific artistic vision put out. The world realized on April 23, 2018, that V wasn't in the same category as the rest of the genre. He'd been there the whole time. Singularity was when people started understanding why Big Hit kept him secret on debut day. There's always been more to him than what he's been showing. He tends to reveal it one layer at a time. Here's why the obsession with V runs at a different frequency than most K-pop fandom. It's not that he's talented. Plenty of K-pop artists are talented. It's that nobody can place him. Deep baritone voice, sophisticated taste, jazz and soul solo album, Celine ambassador, friendships with artists outside the idol world. The fan communities don't describe him the way they describe most idols. They describe him as alien, which in this context means completely unlike anything else we've encountered, impossible to categorize, irreducible to a type. That quality is rare, and it's what makes a fan base stay obsessed when you go silent for 18 months. He released Layover, his debut solo album, on September 8, 2023, 3 months before he enlisted. Jazz and soul influenced, critically praised, a record that holds up on its own merit entirely outside K-pop. Then he went quiet. He was discharged in June 2025, and Layover is still being listened to like it came out last week. He's also the most followed Korean celebrity on Instagram. The Celine ambassadorship has been running since 2022. His world extends well beyond the idol industry, which is part of why the obsession follows him wherever he goes. Layover is the kind of album that sounds better every time you go back to it. If you haven't listened properly yet, I've linked a solid pair of headphones in the description. Worth it for that record. BTS is reassembling. V is back. A new era is coming for both. Here's what I actually want to know. V's solo sound, Layover, Singularity. That whole world is completely different from BTS. Different genre, different register, different aesthetic. They're not competing with each other, but they're not the same thing either. So here's the question. If he never went back to the group, if Layover was the beginning of a solo trajectory and he stayed on that path, would that be a loss? Or would his solo career end up being bigger? Don't give me the safe answer. Tell me where you actually land. Subscribe so you don't miss the next profile. New ones every week. Follow at Stardom on Instagram and TikTok for daily K-pop moments.